The city lights of New York City shimmered like diamonds against the night sky, but inside the quiet luxury of the rooftop restaurant, something far more intense was unfolding, something no headline, no camera, no fan could have prepared for. Rihanna, known to millions as RiRi, sat across from A$AP Rocky, her fingers gently wrapped around a glass she hadn't touched in minutes. The air between them was different tonight. Not tense, not exactly. But heavy. Meaningful. This wasn't just another celebrity date night. This was something deeper. Something unforgettable. Crescent moon. The night begins like a dream. Rocky had planned everything. From the moment Rihanna stepped out of the car, she knew something was different. The entrance was lined with soft candlelight, the kind that flickers just enough to make everything feel surreal. A violinist played a slow, emotional melody in the background, one of her favorite songs, though she hadn't told anyone that. "Okay, what is all this?" she asked, half smiling, half suspicious. Rocky just grinned. "You deserve it," he said quietly. And that was the first moment her heart skipped. Because his voice, it wasn't playful like usual. It was serious. Wineglass, a conversation that changed everything. Dinner started off light, jokes, laughter, small touches. But slowly, the tone shifted. Rocky leaned forward, his eyes locked onto hers in a way that made the world around them disappear. "You ever feel like life moves so fast you forget to say the things that matter?" he asked. Rihanna blinked, caught off guard. "Yeah, sometimes," she replied softly. He nodded. "I don't want to be that person. Not with you." And just like that, the energy changed. Broken heart the moment everything broke open. Rocky reached into his jacket. Rihanna's breath caught. For a split second, she thought. Is this it? But instead of a ring, he pulled out something unexpected. A small, worn notebook. Her confusion was visible. "What's that?" she asked. He exhaled slowly. "This is everything I've never said." And then, right there, in the middle of that quiet rooftop, A$AP Rocky began to read. Memo words that hit too deep. The first few lines were gentle. Memories. The first time he saw her. The first time he realized she wasn't just Rihanna the icon, but someone he could truly love. But then, his voice started to shake. "I don't always say it right. I don't always show up the way I should," he read, pausing as his hands trembled slightly. "But losing you, that's the one thing I know I couldn't survive." Rihanna's lips parted. Her eyes started to glisten. Crying face. "RiRi can't hold it in." He kept going. "I've made mistakes. I've let my pride get in the way. But tonight, I needed you to hear this from me, not the world, not the headlines, just me." A tear rolled down Rihanna's cheek. Then another. And another. She tried to blink them away, but it was too late. The emotions hit all at once. The vulnerability. The honesty. The raw truth she had been waiting for, maybe without even realizing it. "Rocky," she whispered, her voice breaking. But he wasn't done. Collision. The unexpected twist. He closed the notebook. Looked straight at her. And said something that completely shattered her composure. "I don't want perfect. I just want real, with you. Every day. Even the hard ones." Silence. Heavy. Powerful silence. And then Rihanna broke. Loudly crying face. Tears that wouldn't stop. She covered her face, shaking her head as tears poured uncontrollably. Not quiet tears. Not the kind you can hide. These were deep, overwhelming, soul-level tears. "I hate you for making me cry like this," she said, laughing through the emotion. Rocky stood up instantly, walking around the table and pulling her into his arms. "I'm sorry," he whispered. But she shook her head against his chest. "No, don't be. I needed this." Red Heart A Love rewritten in real time. For a long moment, they just stayed there. Holding each other. No cameras. No fans. No pressure. Just two people, stripped of everything but truth. When Rihanna finally pulled back, her eyes were red, but her smile, it was different. Stronger. Realer. You really wrote all that? She asked. Rocky nodded. Every word. She looked at him, searching his face. Then she whispered something that changed everything. Then don't ever stop being this version of you. Milky Way, a night they'll never forget. The rest of the night was quieter. More intimate. Less about the world, and more about them. And as they walked out of that rooftop, hand in hand, something had shifted. Not in a dramatic, headline-grabbing way. But in a deeper way. The kind of change you feel, not see. Sparkle's the real reason she cried. It wasn't just the words. It wasn't just the moment. It was the realization. That behind the fame, the pressure, the noise. There was still something real. Something worth fighting for. And that night. A$AP Rocky reminded Rihanna exactly what that felt like. The city lights of New York City shimmered like diamonds scattered across black velvet, but inside the penthouse suite, the mood was far from glamorous. It was intimate, quiet, almost fragile. Rihanna, known to millions as RiRi, stood by the window, her reflection faintly visible against the glass. Her eyes, usually filled with confidence and fire, held something different tonight, anticipation mixed with a hint of fear. Behind her, A$AP Rocky adjusted the cuff of his jacket, watching her in silence. He had planned this night for weeks. Every detail. Every moment. Because tonight, everything would change. Crescent Moon, the date that felt different. It started like something out of a dream. A private rooftop dinner. Soft candlelight flickering in the breeze. A violinist playing a slow, emotional melody that seemed to echo through the skyline. The table was set with her favorite dishes, everything from Barbados-inspired flavors to her go-to comfort meals. Rocky, you really did all this? Rihanna asked softly, turning toward him, her voice already trembling with emotion. He smiled, but it wasn't his usual playful grin. This was deeper. Tonight ain't just a date, Ri, it's something I needed you to feel. She sat down, studying him. There was something in his eyes, something intense, almost overwhelming. And for the first time in a long time, Rihanna felt nervous. Broken